Hello, hello, hello. We are very, very happy to welcome you, dear brothers and sisters, to a new edition of our show titled Speak of Africa. It's a new week and we are really, really excited to bring you a whole lot of news. So much news is breaking out in the motherland and we want to keep you abreast of all what is happening. In fact, we spent a whole lot of time last week dealing with some issues and we think you're going to share some of these issues with us. For the show of today, we're going to start first with kitchen table items. First, we reached a milestone, which is 2 million views. When we started this show, we were very, very humble. We wanted to give a voice to Africans because we felt Africans are not heard. We were just like invisible men. Nobody heard about us, nobody saw us. But we decided that it was time for the world to start seeing Africans. It was time for us to start believing in the destiny of one Africa. So we decided to create a channel to give a voice to the voiceless. So today, we can tell you proudly that because of your action, we've surpassed the milestone of 2 million views. The credit, of course, goes to you, especially the viewers and subscribers. But I think I give special thanks to the people who share stories with us. We've been telling you that this is your channel. The only way you can make this channel yours is to participate. Do not just be a silent observer. Don't just be a passive observer. We want you to be active, to take part in whatever is happening. We are starting a new revolution, a new movement of One Africa, and we want you to participate in this revolution. The only way you can participate is not only to watch the news every week, but we want you to also send us news. Whenever you see stuff breaking out in your community, share it with us. And we're going to share it with other brothers and sisters, which is what we've been doing. This week is really Lent. I'm a Catholic, Roman Catholic Christian, and I respect those who are of other faith, whether they are Muslims. But for me, I will invite you to join me in celebrating the period of Lent. Lent in my church, the Roman Catholic Church, is a period from Ash Wednesday right down to Easter. This is when we start thinking about Christ and we try to look for ways to forgo something. For me, I decided that in honor of the month of Lent or the season of Lent, I would try to forgo some stuff. I don't want to talk about fasting. No, I decided to forgo making money on Sundays. So I decided that on Sundays, I'm going to take more time reflecting, meditating on spiritual subjects. So now I don't want to deal with any clients on weekends. So weekends, like Sundays, I really want to spend time, go to church, pray for myself, my family, and my enemies also. Because Jesus tells me to wish my enemies well. And on this show, I'm encouraging you to follow the precepts of Jesus. Let's wish our enemies well. So that's so much I can tell you about the month of Lent. But we're going to go now to our news segment. Before we go to the next segment, there's a video I'm going to share with you. One of you shared this video with us. This video came from a family in Germany. We see a young lady crying about the atrocities that the German government is meting out on Africans. If you know, Germany has been one of those big colonial powers. You remember Adolf Hitler, the crazy guy who killed so many Jews. Since then, the Germans have stayed in Africa. They've taken advantage of a lot of African resources. But Germany is a country that has a very anti-African immigration policy. We've shown you videos before of many Africans who live in Germany. You see the way the police hounds them like dogs and kicks them out of the country disrespectfully. But Germans will come to Africa and they want to make friends with African countries. How can they be making friends with African countries when they treat our citizens so despicably? So let me let you watch for a second the video that one of you sent to us. We're not calling the names of people who share videos with us. Soon, if you let us, we'll be identifying you so that you let the world know who you are. But for now, just watch the video of this German tragedy. Watch it for a minute.
They don't want our children to stay with their parent and grow. They want to take the children and kill the parent so that the children will grow as a slave and be paying tax. They don't even know who hold the tax. this country. Why would they do this to me and my husband? Why would they come into my family? Look at today, my household has been scattered just because Germany want to manifest themselves before the earth. Buhari, Ajiameuna get up. It's better you people kill the person inside Kaduna, even in Daura. It's better they die in Daura than they kill them here in Germany.
Okay, thank you for watching the video of this German atrocity, because treating Africans like dogs is not a good sign. We don't like it, and we like to talk about it because we want other Africans to know the way Germany is treating Africans. We have many Africans who are studying in Germany. They are good citizens, but why does the German government have such an anti-colonial policy when they've always had a very long colonial past? When you look at much of Africa, Germany has been a colonial master there. Look at Cameroon, for example. Germany was in Cameroon for a very long time until the French and the British kicked them out after the First World War. That's when Germany made the exit. But today, we're really proud of German creativity and hard work and ingenuity. But what we don't like is the racism we find among Germans. Tell your government to start treating Africans well. That's all what we ask of you. We don't really want to have problems with Germans. We love other people. We don't like to hate people. We are Christians, and we love that whether you're a Christian, Muslim, or a Jew, be nice to other people. That's the message we preach on our show, because we want us to be nice to other people.
Hey, yo, Shape, I thought you was going to take me to this place so I could get my taxes done. You know I'm trying to buy a new house. What's up?
Let's get it on. If you're searching for a house, call up my man Prince Ojong, the best in real estate. Take it from your guy Shape. When I say his services are the best in the states, word is born. He even take care of your tax forms, fat refunds. So come, get your business done. Consultations, financial organization, fast processing, no waiting. This man is amazing. The Prince.
Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131.
The subject we're going to deal with today has to do with Fulanese, but I will leave that subject for a while and go to Congo DRC. I have covered Congo DRC on this show many times. For this week, I will draw a few items to your attention. The first item has to be the death of General Delphine Kahimbe. This is a general who was really close to Joseph Kabila, and we understand he's a relative of Kabila's. What killed him? His death actually is a mystery, and we were trying to dig to find out more information about the death of this general. Is it related to a power struggle between Joseph Kabila and his successor? Let us know. We want to find out, because this guy was the assistant chief of security. To just die under mysterious circumstances calls to attention. Okay, so we want to know what really happened. But we have a bigger story too. Congo DRC was making news not only in the motherland, they were making news in Europe, in fact, in France, in Paris. There's a popular musician who used to play with Kofi Olomide, the Shakespeare of Congolese music. Fally Ipupa was supposed to stage a concert in France, and the Congolese freedom fighters decided to stop this concert. They did not want the music to play. They wanted Fally Ipupa to stop the music. Why? Well, most of the freedom fighters of Congo DRC are students, and they live in Europe. Most of them are in Brussels, which is the capital of the country that really colonized Congo DRC. So most of them live in Brussels, and they travel all over Europe. So they wanted to stop the concert that was supposed to take place in Paris. So Belgium is really the colonial master of Congo DRC. So most of these guys left Belgium and went to Paris to stop the concert of Fally Ipupa. because they felt music is distracting Congolese from focusing attention on liberating their country from foreign powers. So these freedom fighters want Congolese to focus attention on national liberation. They feel like if Congolese are spending time listening to music, it means all is well. So they just want to draw attention. Besides, most of these freedom fighters do not like the fact that most of the Congolese musicians, such as Fally Ipupa, are pro-government, or they perceive them to be pro-government. So when you are part of the government, these Congolese musicians to be committed artists. A committed artist is what we call artiste engagé. Literary commitment means in your songs, you have to talk about revolution. Just like what happened in South Africa, most of the singers were really committed singers, such as Miriam Makeba, the late Miriam Makeba. So those are the type of artists that are really lacking in Congo today. Congo is just like the Garden of Eden. God has given so much wealth, natural wealth, to this country. Interestingly, this country is one of the poorest in Africa. It's a very large country with a big landmass, but there's no development. This is the place that gave the world the first atomic weapon. When America dropped the first atomic weapon on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the material that made this bomb possible came from Congo DRC. But when you see the way Congolese live, you will not even believe that the bomb came from here. It's because from the very beginning, Belgium and America connived to topple the very first elected democratic prime minister of the country. Okay? Patrice Lumumba. Since Lumumba died, it looks like God has really thrown a curse on the Congolese nation. Nothing good happens in this nation, only bad things keep happening to this nation. Since the death of Lumumba, it looks like the Congolese need to really atone for the death of Lumumba. They've not done it yet. Even the foolish Mobutu who came, he tried to pretend as if he's really the heir of Lumumba. But the people know that that's not the truth. In fact, Franco, the famous musician, even composed a song called Lumumba Héros National, which explained that Mobutu was just faking. Mobutu never really loved Lumumba. He killed Lumumba, but he pretends as if he's the heir of Lumumba. He played those tricks. Where did he take the Congolese people? Instead, he lavished all the stuff of the country. He took everything for himself, and the people had nothing. So the place is still not developed, very poor, and it's very, very sad when you look at the way the Congolese people live. It looks like the only solace for them is music. So the freedom fighters now don't want them to enjoy this music, and they've been fighting to keep the music away. And they've been preventing Congolese musicians who are perceived to be close to the Congolese government in Kinshasa not to play in Europe, where they make a lot of money. So this is like a form of punishment. So when Fally Ipupa came up with this concert, he thought things would really go smoothly. But to his amazement, the fighters, freedom fighters, came out in big numbers, and you could even see pictures in Paris. The freedom fighters set a lot of parking lots on fire. You could see fire blazing all over the place. So this was really sad. And you could also see another video, which we're going to share with you. You could see why all these things are happening. But you see now that our people have had enough. So they are just against the treatment that they are really getting in Europe, and they want this to stop because they feel Belgium is taking advantage of the resources of Congo, but Congo is not getting anything in return. So that's the sad part about African trade. The trade is not really balanced. The trade is unbalanced because the Africans get nothing, whereas the foreigners get everything. So this is not really good trade. From Congo now, we're going to take you to Nigeria.
I'm at Favor. It's an African store by the neighborhood here, Bassville, in back of Maryland's farm. It's been a wonderful year for the past 2 to 3 years we have in this African store here, and it's helping us, and actually it's a good place for us to come and give us support and do some shopping here. The prices are reasonable, and most of the stuff you can have is universal.
One thing I love about this store, they are very consistent and they treat the customers very, very well. You come here, you see everything that you will need for your house.
You guys sent us some videos too about T.Y. Danjuma, an ex-military chieftain who really made an expose on the jihadist invasion of Nigeria. We've been talking about this invasion for many, many months. If you watch this show, you'll see that we've been talking about Islamic jihadists killing innocent Nigerians. Sometimes they claim that, oh, the people were really trying to steal their cattle, so they had to kill them. And then they just want to have the right to let their cattle graze everywhere. So even if you have your land, these Muslim guys who just want to take over your land and graze your cattle there, you don't have any right to ask them any questions. But what these Fulani guys don't understand is, in a modern world, when we have land, whether we have land or whether we have real estate or we have real property, you have to respect people's property. This is one of the canons of civilized society. We have to respect people's property because every property comes with a bundle of rights. We have the right of disposition, enjoyment, exclusion, possession, and control. Those are the main rights in real estate when we talk about a bundle of legal rights. So when you have a piece of land, real estate, or property, you want to enjoy all these rights that come in a bundle. When these Islamic fanatics start sending their cattle to graze on your land, they infringe on these rights. But what is the Buhari government doing about it? Well, from what we've been showing you, the Buhari government has not really been doing much to solve the problem. Instead, it looks like Mr. Buhari has a hidden agenda to introduce an Islamic State all across Nigeria, forcing the Igbos and the Yorubas to become Muslims by force. And that's what made T.Y. Danjuma to really react, because he could see bad things happening to the country soon. And he thinks the Yorubas have been taken hostage, the Igbos have been taken hostage by this Fulani cabal. And this is really sad. So how would you, as president, allow a cabal like this to take over the country, to hijack the rights of other people? So T.Y. Danjuma was just exposing to Nigerians so that they can wake up and smell the coffee, because he feels like most Nigerians are not really aware of what is really happening in their country. Once they understand what is happening in their country, it looks like they may be able to take action against this stupid Buhari government, because the government seems to do not really know what they are doing. Even our president, Donald Trump, has now decided to ban Nigeria from traveling to America just because of this Buhari guy. And Buhari's sins are just that he's allowing these Islamic fundamentalists to kill Christians in big numbers. So it looks like if care is not taken, a religious war may even ensue in Nigeria. Is this what we want to happen in such a big country? No. And a lot of Western media now has started speaking because they've seen that Mr. Buhari is just compliant with the dictates of the Islamic fundamentalists. He allows them to have free reign. They can take their cattle wherever they want to go. If they are grazing their cattle on your land, you don't even have to speak. They can kill you. He supplies them with weapons. So they've even seen that Mr. Buhari is actually the sponsor of Boko Haram. And it looks like after his first failed bid to become a civilian president, he went back and started financing Boko Haram. After that, this whole movement has become so big that he cannot contain it anymore. But a lot of innocent Nigerians are dying every day, which is why T.Y. Danjuma came up with this message.
Life insurance money secrets of millionaires and billionaires exposed. Discover how America's rich and famous exploit these arcane tools to build fabulous wealth. Why should these big white guys have all the fun? Let Prince Ojong, the celebrity author of The Miraculous Millionaire, show you the little understood life insurance way to riches. Are you still doubting the good things that life insurance can do for you? Trust strategies, estate planning, 401k rollover, annuity contract, cash value, education funding, executive benefits, income protection, life protection, living benefits, mortgage protection, tax-free retirement? Think and grow rich with life insurance. Your amazing journey to wealth begins by calling Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131.
Now we're going to move you now to Cameroon. Last week, we showed you an interesting video that happened during the 57th Agricultural Show in Paris. President Emmanuel Macron attended this agricultural show. Unbeknownst to him, a young Cameroonian activist, Gabriel Libro, attended this event. He surfaced in a crowd and started asking questions loudly to Mr. Macron. He heralded, said, Mr. Macron, there is genocide in my country. Mr. Macron, there is massacre going on in my country. There's all this going on in my country. And Mr. Macron eventually listened to him. We'll have the video again. If you did not see this video last week, we'll have the video in its entirety for you to watch it. You may not understand French, but Mr. Macron had to pay attention to this activist in tennis. Okay, he said, Mr. Macron, I'm an activist from Cameroon, and I had written to you. I swam through the Mediterranean to get to Paris. I even wrote to you about my experience and the plight of young African immigrants. And you replied to me. Then there is a lot of genocide going on in my country. Mr. Macron said, yes, I know. I just told Mr. Paul Biya to stop this campaign of genocide against Anglophones. I told him already. I'm going to remind him next week because he needs to stop it because what is going on is intolerable. I cannot accept it. So finally, in fact, Biya and his thugs sent some of those thugs to go to the French embassy and protest against President Emmanuel Macron. But this is really a farce because this same France, this French government that Mr. Biya is protesting against, has been supplying him the weapons, the money, over 65 billion euros of equipment to fight innocent civilians in Amazonia. And finally, this resulted in a severe massacre in Ngambu village near Ntumbo. The United Nations sent people to go and investigate this massacre. Unfortunately, for some of the people who provided information, the informants, were killed by the Biya government. And we can give you a name of one of the main informants. Danjuma, Malam Danjuma, was killed summarily by the Biya B guys because he talked to the United Nations about this massacre that took place. He gave all the evidence. Later on, as a way to cover up, Atanganji, the Minister of Territorial Administration, the Minister of Interior, decided to meet some of the people who survived this massacre in a hotel in Bamenda. Then he coached them to tell a different story, and he brought money from the government and gave them money so that they should tell a different story to the United Nations people who are coming to investigate. So this is really a joke. The people are no longer stupid, and we think the United Nations needs to wake up. The people of Africa are no longer the stupid people they thought they were 50 years ago. Today, the average African is very smart and very knowledgeable about world affairs. Don't think you can deceive them. Atanganji is not going to succeed in fooling the world community that no massacre took place in this region or the government is not involved. The truth about it is the government is involved and the government is trying to cover the story. We can show you pictures of mass graves. These graves are being dug by soldiers. You can see the soldiers digging the grave. So somebody cannot tell you, oh no, the government was not really involved in this massacre. Who are they fooling? They're not going to be fooling the world anymore. And we've put together this stuff. With this video, we're going to take our problem to President Donald J. Trump. Because we want him to kick this Biya guy out. Already, we've received intelligence that the French have had enough of Mr. Paul Biya's stupidity. So they think he's not good for business. Il n'est pas bon pour la tranquillité des affaires. Alors on doit l'écarter to the sweet man. So it looks like the French are already drawing up plans to get rid of Mr. Paul Biya. Probably in the next few days or months. Already they have made their decision that they don't want Paul Biya anymore as the governor of their province. As we told you before, Cameroon is a French plantation. Most of you were in disbelief when we said this, but so many things have happened the last few weeks for you to see that what we told you is the truth. Cameroon is a French plantation. Until you take action to free yourself, Cameroon will remain a French plantation. So already the decision has been taken in Paris. Even a German newspaper, Zeit Online, has also published a story which leaked from the French presidency. Biya's days are numbered. So those who are supporting Biya, who are members of his cabal, should know that what happened to Saddam Hussein may befall them if they stay with Biya, because they are really in a Titanic, a sinking ship. The ship is really sinking. If you thought for a moment that things are well, think again, because right now the French have washed their hands off this butcher of his own people. They don't want to deal with this Biya guy anymore. So they want to just leave Biya in peace, to throw him out. So the way we see it, Mr. Biya may end up in the ICC, the International Criminal Court, because the evidence about his crimes are so open. You see soldiers brazenly burying people alive. They are not afraid. They are confident because Mr. Biya has given them the orders to kill, whatever you see. So in the world we live today, we cannot accept barbarism. It cannot stand. We cannot accept it. So if you think in Africa this is okay, we say no. This should not happen in Africa, and we're against it. So we tell you, Mr. Biya has to go. And the French have already taken the decision. So soon we'll be seeing the impact of this decision. Already, you can see what happened on the streets of Douala when Mr. Maurice Kamto was returning home after his international tour. The whole city of Douala was paralyzed. You could see so many people. I'm going to share the video of Mr. Kamto's return home. See it. Watch it for a minute. So, is it that Mr. Kamto is the newly elected president coronated by France? Well, we understand he won the election in LRC, La République du Cameroun, but it looks like the French probably may be considering him as the successor to Mr. Paul Biya. So already he's just like the next guy who may want to take place. But how is he going to be able to handle the problem in Ambazonia? This is material for us to think, and we'll share more intelligence with you when we have our next show. But for this show, we just want you to watch and enjoy the videos that we're sharing with you. Then think, is Mr. Kamto going to be the next president of Cameroon? Send us your ideas so that we can share them with our friends. Okay? So we thank you very much for watching the show of today. We think we've really brought you a lot of information to digest. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask us. And we also thank those viewers who have started doing business with us. We started advertising our businesses, and we've been receiving calls and contacts from different people who are using our services. So we thank you very much for using our services. Share this show with more friends, because we want to take this revolution far and wide. We thank you very much, and may God bless you.
Favorite International Food Store. African food costs too much money. Yes, we agree. In fact, that is why we opened Favorite International Food Store. 1. Price. Low prices every day. 2. Variety. Get everything you are looking for. 3. Customer service. Enjoy the best customer service. 4. Shipping station. We bring the food to you. Favorite International Food Store. We are African's Costco and Sam's Club. Retail, wholesale, online, offline. Act now. Experience Favors freebies today. Call 301-595-3500. Favor International Food Store, 11456 Cherry Hill Road, Beltsville, Maryland, 20705.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.